Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Or if you're new here, my name is Chris Eberhardt, and I want to thank you for joining me on this journey to live the more intentional life. Today, I want to answer a question that I've had on my mind really kind of since the beginning of this YouTube channel. Is it ever too late for personal development? Or is there ever a time where you don't really need personal development? So let's talk about it. You know, when you start on a journey of personal development, when you start listening to those in that space, experts in the area of growth or personal development, one of the things you'll often hear, particularly when it talks about it's never too late for personal development, is you'll hear exciting stories or inspiring stories of people who in their old age did these amazing things. You know, for example, Colonel Sanders didn't start KFC till he was 65 years old. And the idea behind it is, oh, look, it's never too late. But the question that came up when I was in a conversation with somebody about personal development and growth is they said to me, I don't want to be famous. I'm not trying to get rich. I don't want to be a famous anything. You know, they said, I like my life the way it is. Why would I need personal development? And what I have come to realize just as I've grown is that that's just a very narrow view of what personal development is. You know, personal development is not all about becoming rich or famous. It's not all about be climbing the corporate ladder and getting promotions. It's not all about becoming an entrepreneur and owning your own business. Now, certainly personal development can lead to those things if that's what you want. You know, we've said a number of times from the very beginning that in my mind, personal development is becoming the best possible version of yourself. And so if you ask the question, is it ever too late for personal development, or is there ever a time you don't need personal development? My question back to you would be, are you currently the best possible version of yourself? Or is there room to grow? And you have to have this understanding that personal development does not mean you have to change your life. Personal development for you might mean just further enriching the life that you have. So let's look into and dig into how even if you're retired and you have no ambition to start a new career, own a business, become rich and famous, how personal development can still benefit you in helping you become the best possible version of yourself. So the way I want to look at this is by examining the 10 arenas of life. You know, we did a video a while back on what we call the 10 arenas of life. It is just the different areas that make up a person's life. And we said that personal development or becoming the best possible version of yourself was growth and development in each of these areas. So if we look at the 10 arenas of life and we can see there is still opportunity to grow in that area, then we can know that no matter what our age or our station in life or how happy we are with our life, we can grow further and we can improve more, meaning we can still totally benefit from personal development. Arena number one, thoughts and feelings. Now, do you want to have a discipline over your thoughts and feelings, or do you want to be controlled by them? You know, do you want to, with the way the world is right now, and all of the things that are bombarding us, it really opens the door for a lot of fear. But when you have discipline over your thoughts and you choose to think about the good over the bad, you choose to be thankful for God for the little things instead of focus on all these things that are going on in the world, well, you're going to have a lot better life. Now, does the age you are affect that? Do you want to have discipline over your thoughts and your feelings at the age of 30, but not at the age of 70? Well, I don't think so. And the question is, can you still get better or can you still improve in your discipline over your thoughts and feelings? And I don't think there are a lot of people out there who can honestly say, I have total discipline over my thoughts and feelings. I have no more ability to grow or increase in that area. Therefore, I think all of us just by looking at that could say, okay, There is opportunity for me to grow, for me to develop, for me to improve. Therefore, I could still use personal development. But let's go on. Arena number two, morals and character. Does your age affect what your morals and character should be? Are you allowed, or do you have an excuse to say, oh, I'm a certain age, I no longer have to be a moral person? Well, we've talked about before, this is personal development from a Christian perspective. I don't care what age you are, or what station of life you're in. There are certain commandments given to us by God to walk in love, to love one another, and to have a good moral character. And so your age or station in life does not affect the fact that you have to improve in this area. And again, I don't think anybody can say, I have no more ability to improve. I'm already perfect in that area. Arena number three, actions and responses. This is kind of a big one because you often will hear people joking that as you age, you no longer have to care. You don't have to be responsible for your actions or your responses. And you can basically just respond however you want. And a lot of times in movies, this becomes like a running joke. You're like, well, I'm 80, I don't care. And they'll do these kind of crazy things that a normal person in society would not do. But the running joke or the idea is you don't have to care because of your age. Now, again, uh, when it comes to the love commandment that we have from God, and when it comes to just basic human decency, your age does not matter. You do not have an excuse just because you're old that you can respond in any way that might hurt somebody else's feelings, that might cut them down. You can try to cover it and say, "Well, I'm just speaking the truth and I don't care," but you still have to be responsible for your actions and responses no matter your age, and therefore you have room to develop and grow, and you have need for personal development. The next one, health and wellness. This is a big one. This is actually, I would say, becomes more important as you age. As you get older, there are certain things that we just know are going to happen to the physical body. You're not going to be as strong as you were in your 30s when you're in your 80s. We understand this. But we have also have so much scientific evidence that says if you will remain healthy, if you will exercise, if you will do weight training, you can stave off some of the things that most people think are uh, absolutely just going to happen when you're older. You can stave so much of that off as you get older. Well, you learn about that through personal development. You can learn how to be disciplined to actually do the exercise through personal development. And so, personal development is not about age or station of life. There's always ways to improve. Now, the next arena of life is in relationships. And I think this one is so important, particularly as you get older. You want to maintain strong relationships. And even think about this just from the most basic of things. My mother, she's not working. She's one of these people who enjoys her life. Probably thinks that there's not a lot of places that she can develop. She doesn't have some great desire or to go out and become rich or to start a business. But you know what she is really great at? She's really great at being a grandma. But you know what? I believe there are things she could do to become even a better grandma. My son, he's big into dinosaurs right now. Well, could she make the choice to say, I'm going to learn all these dinosaur names so that I can talk to my grandson about dinosaurs? Absolutely. Those are things that my mom could get interested in and grow in to help that relationship. And if nothing else, all of her grandkids just growing up thinking about how wonderful she is as grandma. And the same thing for my father with them. Them growing up knowing, remembering how great their grandpa is. That's the types of things we're thinking about. You're not doing personal development to make these massive changes and completely changing your life, but are there areas to grow in? Can you improve in relationships? I absolutely think you can. So personal development is an avenue through which you do that. Now, the next arena is the arena of finances. Now, I think also this is an important one, particularly as you age. Not getting less important, but I think it's getting more important. And even when it just comes to you continuing to live out your life, maybe you're living on social security or your retirement that you had saved up. Maybe you saved up a lot, maybe you saved up a little, but don't you want to make good financial decisions so that that money will not only last you the rest of your life on here, but then you can leave an inheritance. The Bible says a good man or a good person leaves an inheritance to their children and their children's children. Now, the seventh arena of life is career. Now, this is maybe the only one that I would say, depending on what you're doing with your life, the station of life you're in, the age that you're in, I think maybe that is the only one that you could try to make an argument for. I don't need personal development in that area. But what if you could take the knowledge that you got during a career and you could keep building on it and you could help another generation? Now, times change, things change, but experience is always going to be beneficial. And so I would submit to you, even in the area of career, even if you're retired, I think there are still things that you could do and could learn. Now, the next arena is in the area of education or learning new skills. Now, this is a big one. I think that people should always be learning. I don't care what station of life you're in. I don't care how old you are. There's always something to learn. And sometimes you don't need to learn something to do a thing. Sometimes there's benefit in learning just to learn. And particularly as you get older, we know that the sharper you keep your mind, the more you continue to learn, the more books you continue to read, the things that you learn about, the skills that you learn, they not only can give you some purpose, but they can also just keep your mind sharp. And I don't know about you, but I don't ever want to lose my mind. I want to be sharp until the day I go home to be with the Lord. Then the next arena of life is in the area of leisure and hobbies. I truly believe there are a lot of people who die younger than they needed to because they never developed leisure and hobbies. Maybe they made one arena of life their everything in throughout their prime of their life. Maybe their career was everything. And when they end their career, when they retire, they have no idea what to do. But not only that, but learning new hobbies, it can keep you sharp. It can give you purpose. It can be an avenue through which you meet new people. It's something that can keep your life full of joy and energy. And then the last one, this is the biggest one. I didn't save it to last because it was the least. I save it to last because it's the most important. The arena of faith and spiritual growth and your beliefs. This is personal development from a Christian perspective. If you have a true belief in God and He's such a big part of your life, then personal growth is going to include spiritual growth. Your spirit is the main part of you. It should be one of the main things you're looking at when you're looking at spiritual growth. Well, when you look at your spiritual growth, no matter what station or age of life you're in, do you think you could improve your relationship and your intimacy with God? Or is that the best it's ever going to be? Do you already have all the revelation that you can possibly get where the word of God is concerned? We know if you're a believer, if you believe in the things of God, you know, because God is eternal and his word is eternal. There's always more revelation out there. There's always things you can learn and facets of God that you can see that you didn't see before. So I submit to you, there is no expiration date on personal development. You may think that you have the most wonderful life right now, and I'm not asking you to change your life, but I guarantee you there's ways to enrich the life you already have. And so I hope that you will take this and realize, hey, there's ways for me to grow. I'm going to get on a journey of living the more intentional life, becoming the best possible version of myself to the very end of my days. Until I see you again, go out and live that more intentional life.